Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I will be reviewing for you an African violet called Toronto Belle. It was hybridized by a Canadian hybridizer of the 70s and 80s with the last name Adams. I received it as a young plant from Linden Lion greenhouses about 4 months ago in late March of 2020. And I featured it in my 2020 Linden Lion greenhouses unboxing video, so check it out. And here is what it looked like on the day when it arrived. Toronto Belle is a miniature variety with variegated medium green and cream serrated girl foliage. It's elongated as well, so it's kind of like longish leaves with pointed leaves, I would say. African violet miniatures grow up to 6 inches in diameter of the rosette across a single crown. This is a young plant still, and the rosette has grown up to 4 inches across. It is grown in a 2.5-inch pot, and normally miniatures need no more than 2 inches diameter pot, but I didn't have a 2-inch pot at the time for wicking, so I planted it in a 2.5-inch pot, and it's been growing nicely. This plant arrived blooming, and I showed the blooms in the Linden Lion unboxing video, and it kept blooming ever since, with short breaks between the blooming cycles. The flowers of Toronto Belle are described as single rose-mauve two-tone blooms. So we can see up close that some of them have darker shades of mauve and lighter shades of rose. They're very beautiful. They are about 1.5 inch in diameter, and here they are in comparison to a dime coin. So they're good size blooms for a miniature size African violet. I'm growing this plant under a combination of LED and natural light on the west facing window. So it gets some of the west facing natural light from the sun, and also the combination of 2 color temperature T8 light bulbs. One is at 6500 K of cool white light, and another one at 3000 K warm yellow light, and both of them are T8 light bulbs. As promised earlier this year, I'm still thinking of making the video about light in my growing environment in particular, so I will talk about the different light bulbs that exist out there and the light bulbs that I use in that video. And so all of the light bulb sizes that I use are T8, and I believe there are also T12 and T5, and I'm not using those lights. I just found the T8s more readily available. And so I'll talk more about it in the light video that I hope will be coming out later this year. It grows on a wick like all of my other African violets, with the exception of a few that I now grow with top watering method. And it receives the fertilizer in the wicking liquid, and the wicking liquid is water, just regular tap water. And the fertilizers that I currently use are 2 kinds of fertilizers. One is a Dynagrow liquid plant food at 795 NPK ratio at 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of water. And to alternate, I use balanced fertilizer called Jack's Classic All-Purpose at 20-20-20 NPK ratio, and I add 1/8 of a teaspoon of this fertilizer per gallon of water to use as a wicking liquid. This variety is very easy to grow and to propagate, and some girl leaf African violet varieties are tricky to grow and to propagate from a leaf, but I found that this one was the easiest so far out of all the girl foliage varieties that I have in my collection. And when this plant arrived and I was trying to shape the rosette, I removed a few leaves and I propagated a few babies, and here is one of them. So it's been about 5 months, or 4 to 5 months, and this is the baby that grew from a leaf of this mother plant, and it's already 3.5 inches across, so it's a very quick grower. I highly recommend Toronto Belle, especially to those of you who like girl foliage African violets. So here it is again, Toronto Belle by a Canada-based hybridizer Adams. I love this variety for its variegated girl foliage and beautiful blooms on tall bloom stalks. I hope you enjoyed it as well as much as I do. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay safe and be well. And if you'd like to stay tuned for my future videos, please subscribe